Our first presenter tonight is Fern C. Burr. I'm sorry, the lovely and talented Fern C. Burr. Welcome, Fern.
Oh, thank you. A color-coordinated microphone. That's really good. How are you?
Good. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good.
You've got, I thought it was an interesting deal. It was awesome. She was telling me about it the other day. Tell me about when you actually bought this property.
This was the first rental property that T. Shepard Burr and I ever purchased in 1984. It was FHA assume no qualify, because we didn't have credit to do anything else then. So in those days, for $45, a title agent did paperwork, put your name and address on it, and the deal was yours. We took out a second mortgage on our primary residence for $5,000 in order to have the down payment. And it was all manual documentation. There was no, never mind internet or email, there was no fax machine yet. You had to do NCR paper that was duplicates, and they had to mail things to your bank to verify your banking relationships and all that. And that was how we bought it in 1984 for $49,000. This, the pictures you're seeing here, we did a fix-up about 6-8 years ago. We knew that the long-term plan was to be able to be planning on selling it about now. So we put in the, it's a little bitty kitchen, it wasn't very expensive, but we put in the nice cabinets and the granite then. And so all we had to do when we got ready to sell it this time was the stainless appliances. The staging on the right consists of a lovely table that we purchased at the Habitat store and my dining room chairs. And the placemats and dishes and things are things that we save to do our own self-staging from time to time. So with things from the Habitat store and stuff from my house, a few things from Heidi's house, we staged the living room and the dining area. The master bedroom staging, I think it's in the next slide. Yeah, on the bottom right, yeah, the stuff at the top we bought from the Sharing Center in Longwood, actually. The master bedroom, our handyman, who's also a real estate investor who knew we were doing this project, called and said, hey, some tenant moved out, you want the bedroom furniture, and that's what we use for staging, along with an air mattress. So this gives you a brief summary, and these are estimates. Of course, when Shep gets it all figured out for taxes, he'll fine-tune it. Total rental, we estimate over the period we owned it, $365,000. Total expenses over the period we owned it, including taxes, insurance, maintenance, vacancies, $240,000. That also includes a small line of credit. We paid it off at one point, then we took out another line of credit, which I'll talk about in a minute. So the estimated net from the rental income, $125,000, and net from the sale, $225,000, less the purchase price, brings us a net from rental income and the sale of about $300,000. As far as the credit line that I spoke about, in around 2009, we borrowed money from this property to pay $55,000 cash for a nearly new townhome. The average rent on that for 8 years has been about $96,000. The taxes, insurance, HOA, maintenance, vacancies on that, I estimated about $35,000 on that. The cash flow from that townhome has been about $60,000. It's currently worth about $140,000. So the total value of that secondary investment coming out of this one property is about $200,000. So the total value of the deal so far is about $500,000 from that one little $49,000 rental property.
Now, did you just sell this and take in the cash, or are you doing something with that
money? We just closed on it last Wednesday, 28th, and about a week before, I got very stressed about the capital gains, just did not want to pay the tax on it, so we have put the money in the hands of a 1031 exchange company, and we are actively looking for a replacement property. If anybody has something, please see me out in the lobby. We are actively looking.
So does anybody else have any questions? Anybody? All the way in the back.
Mr. Burr, how much would the capital gains be? He's in the back of the room. So between 15 and 22% of the gain. So 237 less 49, less some fix-up expenses over the year and whatnot. It's a pretty big number.
I still think you made out okay.
Well, we may if we can't find a good replacement property. I've got 5 weeks left to identify a property and a total of 180 days to close on it in order to defer those taxes. So that's the plan at the moment. It may change.
Any other questions?
407-33. Oh, I'll give you the cell because y'all are all friends. 407-920-0833. Comes directly to me. Thank you for asking. All right. Thank you, Jack.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Fern.